Hello, I'm FBXSlicker and welcome back to the Minecraft update videos. They have some pretty exciting news to share with you all because we do have a brand new beta or snapshot update for Minecraft 1.14. The Village and Pillage update has another snapshot available for Minecraft Java Edition. It's called 19W048. It's called that because it's the first snapshot of the 4th week of 2019. And today I wanted to talk about this snapshot because we have some exciting news regarding the Stonecutter, which now officially has a use. So this is one of the most hated blocks from what I've seen online from the response so far, but it's actually one of the blocks that I would be willing to defend in this update, so that's exactly what we're doing in today's video, as well as talking about all of the other news that has come up in the past week, because as well as seeing more teasers for, the 1.10 beta and the new combat system, we've also seen for the first time that dual wielding is going to work differently on Bedrock to Java, like full-on different system altogether, no similarities whatsoever, and we've also seen some other tiny little advancements that I think are interesting, and maybe you will too. So this is your Minecraft weekly news roundup. Hope you do all enjoy this one. You can like it if you do, but let's dive straight into this update, which is 19W048. So this was actually a pretty small snapshot. They focused mostly on bug fixes and performance increases. If you don't know, Minecraft has had a real performance issue for quite some time. Ever since they brought in new villages, the location of villages takes a very long time. The loading of new chunks takes a very long time, and they've been fixing this and bringing it back to the 1.13 levels, which is great news. But you probably care a bit more about the Stonecutter because Minecraft introduced a bunch of new crafting blocks in the second half of last year, and it's taken a while for them to all get functionality, with this week being the Stonecutter's week to shine. So yeah, like I said, a lot of people hate this block so far, but let me convince you about why it is a good block, because the Stonecutter, this is gonna blow your minds, so get ready for this. What does the Stonecutter do? The Stonecutter cuts stone. Whoa, that's crazy. You might be like, what else though? And no, the Stonecutter really does just cut stone. It's not a broadly useful block, but it is a really nice block because you put your stone in there and it will allow you to craft it into whatever you want. Do you want to craft some stone bricks? Do you want to craft some stone slabs? Some stone brick slabs maybe? Some stone brick stairs? You can do this instantly using the Stonecutter. So when you put any stone material in there, crafted or not, it will allow you to turn that into any crafted stone material. So for instance, do you want to take your andesite? You can turn that into polished andesite, or you can turn into any of these other different things. And this is why in this update they've added so many brand new stairs and slabs and walls, because all of these things will be craftable via the Stonecutter. So in case you're curious as to what a crafted stone material is, for the purposes of the game, all of these blocks, so granite, andesite, diorite, there's mossy stone, there's regular stone, there's stone bricks, there's sandstone bricks, there's sandstone, there's obviously red sandstone, nether brick, there's quartz, there's even prismarine in there. All of these blocks do get at nether brick as well. All of these blocks count as a crafted stone material, which means you can craft them in the Stonecutter. It's a bit confusing as to exactly what does count, because it just intuitively feels like maybe you should be able to try using your wood on here, but no, it's a Stonecutter. It doesn't work with your wood. You throw your wood in there and the Stonecutter says, no, I'm just this blade only works for stone somehow. That is how this physically goes down. But the reason I like the Stonecutter is not just the fact that it takes something we can already do on a crafting table and allows you to do it with a few less clicks, because we can go straight from stone to stone stairs in this way. That's really nice. Also, there's a sound you might be able to hear. Do you hear that? It's kind of a satisfying little sound. Maybe you like that too. But it's not just because of the fact that, oh yeah, you can now cut your stuff and you can save quite a few steps going from stone to stone bricks. But you might notice how every single one stone is giving me one stone brick. That's right. In this update, you can now officially, get stone bricks from your stone. It's in a 1-to-1 ratio rather than previously, and this is still true in the crafting table. The most annoying thing in Minecraft is the fact that somehow you throw, 6 bits of stone in the crafting table and you end up with 4 stairs. How does that make any sense? Every single one of these blocks makes a stair, right? You just chop off the corner. You should get at least 6 stairs, maybe even more than that, but you get 4. It's one of Minecraft's biggest mysteries. Where does the extra stone go? And this has finally been solved in this update. You now get 1 stone stair or 1 stone brick stair, or you get 1 andesite stair or 1 any type of stair for every 1 ingredient you put in there. That is really, truly wonderful in my opinion, and it's something that is true because of the 1.14 update and the Stonecutter. So the reason I love the Stonecutter is because it adds to the game without taking something away that already exists. Again, it doesn't add too much to the game. Admittedly, it just means you get 50% more stones, it means you can save some time, and it means you can see the recipes in a slightly more visual way, which might be nice, but also, by the way, you do get 2 stone slabs, so it's like the regular thing. So, it's nice for that reason. It is kind of useful, but the reason I really love it is because they haven't taken away from the crafting table. If you want to make anything still via the crafting table, you still can. If you really, really want to, you can still make stone, brick stairs by going in here, taking the stone bricks and doing this whole thing. But the reason you use the Stonecutter is because, one, it's more efficient for stairs. I mean, do you see how horrifically inefficient that thing was? and 2, because you can craft one material at a time. So if you have, say, a stack of 60, actually bad example, if you have a stack of, say, 59 andesite, and you want to turn that into slabs, previously you turned 57 of that into slabs, and you'd have 2 left over. With the Stonecutter, you can perfectly turn any number of blocks into any number of materials, be that, andesite walls, be that polished andesite, be that any one of these things, and that is a nice little change. It's a quality of life improvement that you can get from a brand new block that's actually fairly easy to make. Again, it's one of those things where you benefit from having a house, but you don't you don't lose benefit. You don't feel penalized if you just use the crafting table. The crafting table's still here for you, and it's fine. Speaking of crafting, by the way, let's talk about how you make one, because it's one of the easiest recipes in the game. Get this, you take 3 bits of stone, and you take an iron, and the iron is the blade, and the stone is the Stonecutter. I don't know where the wood comes from in this, but again, at this point, we've just kind of given up on Minecraft recipes being perfect representations. But yeah, the Stonecutter is really easy to make. It's just 3 smooth stone, so take 3 bits of cobblestone, throw it in the furnace, grab an iron ingot, throw it in the furnace, and you can make one of these. Every Minecraft house that has any space for it should have one of these, because they're such a handy little tool. And also, if like me, you're making huge numbers of, say, stairs, or huge numbers of, say, stone bricks, it's going to be faster, or not stone bricks necessarily, but chisel stone bricks. There are some blocks where it's going to be much faster to do it this way, and I'm just really glad there's a way to make things easier and to make them better. It's not amazingly useful, but this is kind of what it is. So yeah, you can now make things perfectly, and I like that a lot. However, this is not all about the Stonecutter in my opinion, because most people have universally come across and hating this. It's about the snapshot as a whole, so it's a small snapshot. It indicates becoming closer to the end of the Village and Pillage update, but there are still 2 blocks left to learn about, because we've seen all of these slowly come in useful week by week by week. We still have to learn about the fletching table. I'm not really so interested about that, and the smithing table, which I'm super interested in. So again, hopefully we don't get too many weaker blocks, because I like the Stonecutter, but it'd still be nice to have some special ability only available via this. Kind of how like you can lock down your maps on the map table by using glass. You should be able to do a similar thing with a Stonecutter, but that's just opinions on how it can be improved. I like it as it is. I think it's useful, and if you don't like it, it's really easy to ignore, which is the great thing about new features, and it's something they should be really trying to add a lot more things like that, rather than changing things up. Speaking of changing things up, by the way, let's talk about Minecraft 1.10 beta. So that could be coming out even today, tomorrow. It could be coming out any time over the next week or so. It is in certification right now. We were expecting it sometime last week, but then it seems like it got delayed, so maybe it's sometime this week now. So when exactly can you expect the 1.10 beta? Again, it's in certification very soon, but these things take a random amount of time because it has to be certified for every single Minecraft Bedrock platform. But I have some interesting news in the meantime for you, because basically we actually saw some screenshots of it. We saw right here, you can see some actual screenshots of the shields being used in action. So there's 2 interesting things that this tells us. 1, the crossbow and the shield can be combined in Minecraft Bedrock. You can use one at the same time as having the other, which means that the shield is going to use a different control input, as we kind of already knew. So that's a super interesting thing. But the second thing this tells us is that even though they've got shields equipped, it's still not going to show the extra hotbar slot like it does on Minecraft Java. So when on Java, if you have a sword in your left hand, you can't use it, by the way, entirely useless thing to have there, you can see how my hotbar looks like this. I have 10 slots, the 9 slots here, and a 10th slot on the hotbar. It's like a slot that can be used for anything. On Bedrock, we're presumably, because of the shield thing, going to be keeping it just for that, and it's not going to be visible what you have in there. You're going to have to rely on physically seeing it in your left hand, which makes sense. I mean, like, realistically speaking, when you have a block in your left hand, you can see it, so it is a little unnecessary to have that extra box there, but it just goes to show they're not adding the new combat. And if you want a little bit extra confirmation from that, we had a direct quote this time, which I find these to be interesting. We had a direct quote from Tanner Pearson, who said this on Twitter: "How is the 1.9 combat a benefit to Bedrock Edition? It doesn't use it and never will." Confirming that the 1.9 combat, even though there is going to be new combat eventually, it's not coming in 1.10. We already heard that one. But the new combat is not going to be the same as 1.9 for Java. It is going to be a full-on combat update v2. We heard Aubrey Norris reiterate that and say, yep, whole new combat update refresh. It's coming, but it's not coming right now. It's not going to be the same as the Java type, and that is super good news if you are a Minecraft Java player, I would say. Yeah, if you're a Minecraft Java player, because also you get a different update. But if you're a Minecraft Bedrock player, a lot of people have been panicking about the combat update, and I would say, apparently, you don't have to worry. When a new combat update comes out for Bedrock, they're going to make sure it's a lot better. They're going to make sure it's a lot less controversial, one assumes, and that's a interesting and rather useful update for you right there. So, with that said, I hope you did all enjoy today's Minecraft news video. The last bit of news that I wanted to go through because, you know, like, we have a couple of small bits. It's just like, oh yeah, the 3DS update did come out. The 3DS is now officially discontinued, as we learned about in the news video last week. And also, interestingly enough, there is a new thing for Bedrock where you can have automatically translating signs. I'd never seen it before, and if you haven't either, it's kind of cool. You can have a sign which translates automatically into the language of the player using it. Pretty darn cool in my opinion. And also, just finally, at the end of the video here, I want to mention, because I made this video a long time ago, there was like 29 new builds from 1.14, we haven't seen that many new blocks since then, but we have seen some texture changes. So like the tissue box here, for instance, looks a lot less like a tissue box and more like a deadly trap to try and trick people. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that if you want to learn more about the other 1.14 features, because this snapshot wasn't so big, you can do so by checking the link in the description. I link a playlist where you can see all of the 1.14 updates so far, because I know a lot of people don't follow it every single week, but this is a big update. We've seen a lot so far of a lot of different new features, and you can learn about those at the link in the description. Or if you're just curious about the future of this, 1.10's beta is coming out tomorrow. It promises big things, at the very least shields, but presumably more village and pillage features as well. So we'll be learning about 1.14/ Village and Pillage for Bedrock tomorrow, or the day after, or the week after, or we don't know for sure, because Bedrock updates aren't as locked down on their release date as it is for the Java edition, because Java is just one platform, they can release updates, whereas there is certification involved for Bedrock. So I'll let you know when that happens. You'll see with the video, and for now, I hope you all enjoyed this one, because I'll see you all in another one. Goodbye.